artist, there's an awesome series of workshops to check out over the next month or so.
Yeah, the Bubbler at Madison Central Library is hosting an artist in residence who's exploring our emotions and how we cope with trauma. Illustrator and animator Rodney Lambright II is here to tell us about his work. Good morning.
Good morning.
So this is a really unique type of art, at least in my opinion. How did you personally get drawn into animation, into cartoons?
Well, I think that I've always been into animation and cartoons, and so I always was into Cartoon Network and watching cartoons
Cool.
when I was little. And then I kind of got to college doing art, not as serious as everybody else, and then halfway through college kind of went through a crisis of not knowing what I wanted to do with my art career. And then I went and explored film and got really deep into that, and kind of had this feeling that I could combine art and film, and that is animation. And so interning at Wisconsin Public Television too also opened up doors of figuring out how to actually make these cartoons move. And so that was really a big inspiration of actually being in the trenches and doing that work.
Sure.
And knowing that it was actually possible for me. So.
The logistics of it is one thing, Rodney, but then to make this connection of, oh, let me use cartoons to talk about maybe some really tough issues.
Yeah.
How did you get there? Because I think, cartoons are lighthearted and funny, and, how did you get there?
Yeah, no, I think that most of the cartoons that I go back and look at now are actually kind of strange and weird, weirder than I knew that they were when I was a little kid. So I've been watching a lot of Courage the Cowardly Dog, and that show is like psychologically very strange, and I think that cartoons come off as being for kids, but adults make them, and so they're telling their stories and telling the stories that they wanted to have as a kid. And I think that cartoons do a really good job at telling messages in a metaphorical way, and can take you to spaces that you can't in real life. So,
with this particular project, exploring how cartoons and animation can really help you with your emotions or maybe with trauma, did you learn anything about yourself?
Yes, I've learned a lot about myself. I think that the concept of, going into your psyche and understanding the things that you don't want to deal with has been something that is, it has been really exciting to explore, and it tells me a little bit more about myself. And so I think that a lot of these characters in the stories that I'm writing, these are stories that come from me. These characters also come from people that I actually know in my real life, and so it's been really cool.
Yeah, we're seeing some of the art right here.
Yeah.
Rodney, is there something that this kind of medium offers when it comes to self-exploration that maybe others don't, in your eyes?
Well, right now I'm really experimenting with the idea of how medium tells stories in different ways. And so in my art show, I'm going to be trying to dive into doing different mediums for different stories, because as you saw, the watercolor gives off a different feeling than using just pencil or pen. And so using different mediums can really express different emotions that I hadn't explored as much before, and now I'm diving into it much heavier now.
Really briefly, you are hosting a couple of workshops for folks who might be interested, right?
Yeah.
I think we have information on that. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so basically next month, in February, on February 9th, I'll be doing a process of animation workshop, which I hope that all ages come out. I think I want it to be more so in the direction of getting people excited about animation and not being so deep in the technicalities of it. I think I want to inspire people that animation is something that you can do at home, and then also if it inspires you enough, you can go deeper and learn more, and also come to my open studios and ask me questions about it.
Really, really interesting thing. All right, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything.
Yeah.
All right, from one art to another, a tattoo shop in western Wisconsin.